Hey guys, so this is part 2 that we're going to start with, or continue today, our Melodic House track. Yeah, there's a couple of changes I made, but I'll take you through them and hopefully you'll understand and take the knowledge and use it in your projects. Okay, so last time we ended at, I think it was our synths. So basically we just had descents. And this will basically fill up the sort of mid to high range. And I added them into the drop. So I did move a few stuff for arrangement reasons. So basically this will be my intro. I'm still deciding on what I'm going to do when the intro is done. Fill in some more elements, but that I'll show probably in part 3. And then I made a little bit of a build up. I added these vocals that I got on Splice, like I said, the credits that you get. I'll never leave you alone. I'm like a dog with a bone. And I added to the mixer track, you just removed some of the low ends. And then when the drop comes, I'll just repeat it. I made a unique sample of this so that I can put effects only on that certain part of the song, this load. And I put on some reverb and a little bit of delay. So I'll show you what I did here is call this send tracks. So all you want to do is go to any channel that's open. You right click on it, dock to the right. And let's say you call this, yeah, I said verb 1, now I can just say verb 2. And I'll color it white always. And then you'll go and search for any reverb plugin. You can use the native one, was it Fruity Reverb 2? I'm not going to use that one. I usually use Valhalla Plate, Valhalla Shimmer, Valhalla Vintage Verb, so I'll use this. And then maybe just go for preset. Usually I change a lot of stuff. I like plates, it's a type plate. Make sure it's on 100% when you put it on the send track, because you are, I'll show you now. It should be on 100% because you're going to control how much you send to this vintage, this Valhalla Vintage Verb. So for instance, let me show you something that will, it's probably this, yeah, it'll be this again. So if I remove everything on this, let's play this alone. Alright, let me remove this. It's very dry, but as soon as I just click on your left click, you can hear it's a bit more in the background. And even more. This one has a bigger decay, so it'll feel even more in the background. And that is my delay. It's too much, just for the background, just to make it a little bit more groovy. And I'll probably turn this back here. And then I'll use a transient shaper. Get rid of some of the sustain there. And yeah. So with the vocal, I just added the vocal in here. Played it through into my drop. And then I decided to just repeat it in the background and yeah, catches the listener's ear. And I added another vocal part. Okay, so that's what I did. The bass we already covered with automation. And I'll show you now. I did some sidechain. I'll show you that as well. Okay, so right after the intro, let's go back to the intro. So the intro, I just started with this. I like it to be filtered in. So and just put in the synth and the volume from, I brought the volume up, and this ambient with all the ambience and atmosphere. And I put in parametric EQ. It's a low pass filter, so it hides the high frequencies, and I'm bringing it up again until it hits this stage. Just brings a bit of more of a, let me show you how to do it. Just go here, and this is the low pass filter, this thing. Then you just right click and say create automation clip on your selected scene. So I selected this, and then I said create automation clip, and I made this. So it goes up and it feels more natural opening into the song. Okay, and so what I did is I added some claps to the song. It's very basic, just different claps that I layer. Clap like this on every offbeat. Clap like this. More human clap. And a more like MIDI punch clap. And together they sound like this. Together with all the other stuff. I think it cuts through really nicely. Okay. Let me see what else I did. Okay, and yeah, I got this other sound from, this is the original sound from Splice. So I only use this part and this one. I don't like that. I don't like this part. So I just cut it up and made it sound like this. And I also added this vocals, so like a vocal cut in the background. It's very soft, and I pan it to the right because I've got this one, because this one is hitting on the offbeat, and I've got the one that's hitting on beat, pan to the left. But it's very soft, so you don't really hear it, but it fills out the frequencies. And together with all of this, it's really a vibe going. Then I just made a channel here, renamed the channel and called it the ambient bus. And so basically I just sidechained. I used Shaperbox. So each time the kick hits, the volume will deduct in this ambient bus, which is all the of these sounds as soon as the kick hits. And yeah, this makes more space for the kick and more space for the frequencies, especially in the low end and the mid end. There's not a lot of processing done on these. As you can see on my clap, changing shaper just to make it shorter, and some EQ that I even forgot here. Let's remove some of the lows. There we go. And all of these sounds, I just right click on any sound, right click and say route to this track only. And after you've done that, you can still go in here and maybe if you want some more reverb on them, you can still control the reverb. Yeah, I made a drum bus, and then if you listen to my drums together, it sounded a little bit out of place, so I wanted to glue them together, basically. So this is my drums. So I used this compressor, the glue, just to compress some. Attack always on 30. Release, not really that much of a matter, but I wanted to come through earlier. Just for the transients, just to be cut down a little bit so it doesn't pop. And then what I did was on the drum bus, I used an EQ, another low pass filter, right click, create automation clip, so that together the drums fade out into the chorus, the bridge, whatever you want to call it. So you can hear it's gonna start. Becoming softer, especially in the high end. And yeah, the bass I didn't change, the synth I didn't change. So for now, this is what we've got. Yeah, and I added just some FX for now. I'll add more later. Like the reverse vocal. Obviously something to break it down, like maybe a white noise or a flutter. Obviously it needs to be different sounds just to make it more full, because it sounds very basic. Maybe play a little bit with the synth as well, give it some chops, or play with the pitch bend. But I'll do that later, just want to show you. And now I started bringing in my lead, but I used filters, a low cut. So this is what it usually sounds like. Let me show you. Now I'm bringing that up and the intensity. So all this does is just wash it out a little bit, this endless smile. Can you hear it's a bit in the distance. There's another band frequency just to remove the low end, because we don't want low end. We don't want low end in the build up. Sometimes, but in most cases, 80% of the time, you don't want a lot of low end in the build up, because you want your low end to be in the drop, so it makes a bigger impact. And I kept this one vocal. This is another ambience that I really felt was impactful. Sounds like almost like if you ever watch Survivor, reality TV show. Sometimes their intro songs got similar vibes to that, like these two together. Yeah, so I think that really fits the track. And now what I did in the drop is all of these oscillations, these automations that I did on the lead. So it's the cutoff oscillation and the decay and sustain oscillation. So I'm just giving it a little bit of, if I take this out, it's going to stay the same throughout. See, there's no change, right? Same with the bass. If I play the bass like this, it's just going to stay the same. There's no movement, no character. But as soon as I put in these automations, which is really important in Melodic House, see it opened up. It's going to open up again, yeah? And then together with the bass. There we go. Now you can hear everything. Just bring it down again. Let it go back to normal. There we go, yeah. That's basically it. In kick I didn't do any processing. Added some hats. I don't know if I added hats in the previous one. Just basic hats. one pan to the left, one pan a little bit to the right. And then this is obviously the outro. It starts to end. But a very important thing, what I didn't show you, is the sidechain. I've tried several different types of sidechaining. Usually I use the Fruity limiter. The problem with that is it deducts the entire frequency when the kick hits. And when the kick hits, you mostly only want to reduce the bass of the other sound so that the bass of the kick and the other sound doesn't clash. So what I did, let's use this bass as an example. So this is the kick and this is the bass. What I did was I used the plugin Shaper Box. As you can see here, I divided them both. Geez, that was 12 decibels. Yes. Okay. So you can see here where the sound starts. Here's where the kick comes in. So I'm going to deduct all of this and let it come back fully here. 100% because I want the bass frequency, which is here to the left, to deduct. And then for my high end, it can still cut a little bit through at 80%. So if I turn this off, you'll see it's gonna kick does struggle to come through, and there's no swing to it. As soon as I put this on, there's a lot more for the kick. Come through, and so usually I use that on most sounds, even on the shakers, and I use it on my synths as well. You can see it just a little more subtle. You can see here low end 100%, but here on the high end I left it at 75%. Yeah, just for it to cut through. And then I did the same, but for this one, I think I rendered I just used Shaper Box on my ambient bus as well in the same way. I like sticking to one sidechain plugin for all of my stuff. And then let's say you want to use the sound, you don't want it to sidechain the whole time. Like let's say it's going to sound like this. It's going to sidechain the whole time. I turn this off. See, now it's not sidechaining, it's not ducking. So you just right click there, create automation clip, and just control where in the song you want it to sidechain. So obviously you want it to sidechain every time the kick hits. So here I won't remove it. And then when you get here where there's no kick, obviously I'd have to remove it, which I haven't done yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it as this. And then time selection from here till here. I go ambient bus, right click here, create automation clip. Bring this, and then from here is where the song starts. There's no kick here. Just gonna bring this down and back up. And yeah, nothing. There's no kick here. But yeah, there we go. And here's no kick here. yeah, that's how you control your sidechain. Do this. Change color. I'll have to organize this a bit more. What else did I do? Oh yeah, and obviously, like I said previously, I will add reverb and delay to it, and I did. That sounds really nice. Add some of this as well. All in the background. Small ear candy that can help drive a feeling in a song. And vocals are very strong in vocals are really a thing to look at when you want to fill up some space. If your song feels empty, any kind of vocals like this in the background together with your main lead, and then everything together. Amazing how a simple melody creation, it's very simple. Like, I mean, there's not really much to it compared to other songs, but that you can make that into something like this, where it fits the track and it makes it sound full, you know, all the different sounds coming together. So yeah, in part 3 we will definitely look to, after this intro, to bring some stuff in here to fill it up. Maybe some drums, maybe some cinematic noises, ambience more, maybe chop up some of these vocals in here. I don't know how it will sound like. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in part 3.